Hey, everybody, it's Rob with Rich on the line. Rich, what are you painting tonight?
Some iron sultanate trench crusade models.
Here, I'm going to switch it to your
Probably
feed.
work on the. Gonna work on this guy here.
Oh, is that the brass bull?
Brass bull, yeah.
You know what the brass bull was in real life?
No, what was it?
The brass bull was a famous torture invention by some Greek city state, kind of like king-esque. Not really. I don't think they called them kings. Anyway, he asked one of his blacksmith type guys to invent a tortured mechanism, which was an ornamental statue of a bull made of brass that was hollow, and you would put people in it, and you would light a fire underneath of it and cook them inside of it. And the bull's neck had like a mechanism which would like warble or affect the sounds of the screams that the people made. And you know who the first victim of it was?
No.
The guy who made it. Great lesson to all. Don't make evil stuff for crazy evil guys. I know that sounds like day one advice, but like apparently people need to hear it.
The way it works, I guess, in the world.
Yeah. I'm going to be painting up my Wraithlord. My buddy Zach. He gets this magazine. It's not White Dwarf. It's called like Combat Patrol or something like that. Which, if that's the case, what a terrible name for a magazine, because their battle forces are also called Combat Patrols. But anyway, I think it's called Combat Patrol, and he got a free Wraithlord out of it. I mean, not free.
You pay money. It's like a model of the month type club.
Yeah. And he already owned 3 Wraithlords, so he was like, hey, you want it? And I said, hell yeah. That's what I'm going to paint today. Cool. All right. I am going to flip it to you for the first camera.
Okay.
Alrighty. I think I'm going to do blue.
And these are some of my other... This is my leader for the team.
Oh, cool. I love the banding on the turban. It's so cool.
I did feel like I've done a lot of the guys have like this one actually was pretty cool. I went and did like the alchemical symbols.
Looks great. Looks really good, Rich. Great for you. Looks seamless.
Trying to do a little bit. I mean, these are I did a lot of research on Ottoman and Turkish, so very instead of just painting what the pictures look like.
I have been working mostly on my Iron Warriors, but I've got Josh's Nids almost done. And I'll tell you what, can I tell you a little story, a little D&D story?
Sure.
So my players are playing Keep on the Borderlands. And since there's so few of them, I have them higher level also too, because I want them to rush through the early parts and get to the good stuff. You know what I mean? I'm tired of playing early level stuff. So I just set them all, start at level 5. So they're a little higher than Keep on the Borderlands, but the next adventure that they've already kind of pseudo begun, they're in the right range for. So they managed, because they were a little higher level, to actually negotiate like a peace. It was nice. They didn't just murder everybody.
That's very rare. Yeah. How do they live up to be murder hobos if they don't just murder?
I know. You know what I love about Keep on the Borderlands? For anyone who hasn't played it, cover your ears or mute the mic for this part. There's a literal murder hobo in Keep on the Borderlands, like just outside of town if you go into the woods. Rich, can you fix whatever is causing the light flashing?
Yeah, that's the light here.
We're going to get like the remember when Pokemon gave all those kids seizures?
No, I'm painting in the dark though.
You have a different light?
Does that?
As long as it's not flickering. Much better, Rich. You can actually see the guy now. All right. I'm having a lot of fun. Just kind of painting lately. I've been getting a lot done. I got 3. Do you know the Forge Fiend model, Rich? Are you familiar?
No.
It's like a dino bot. Chaos Space. I don't like it. I don't think it looks very cool. It looks pretty lame to me. Anyway, I decided to do, you know, the Invictor tactical war suit.
Yeah.
I decided, you know who would use Invictor tactical war suits? Iron Warriors. That's like, you know, they'd kill the first Primaris guy in one of them. They found they'd retrofit it to work with their tech. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took a bunch of Invictor war suits, and I took some parts from some Demon Engine kits to include like a Demon Engine-esque flare, because I still wanted it to be a Demon Engine. You know, that's what it says in the rules it is, so I want to incorporate that visual motif. But I really like how they turn out. A little bit later in the stream, maybe I'll pop them on. They're sitting over there. You got to play any Trench Crusade?
No, because all the guys that got me kind of into it still haven't printed any models.
What the heck?
I know. I said to him, like, all you have to do is literally go on there and push a button and send it to me, and I'll print it for you.
Yeah, like, come on.
It's pretty silly.
Well, I hope you get to play soon. I think it seems like a pretty neat game, though I've told you before, I'm not a skirmish game kind of guy. I like board games.
Yeah. I like I like where the characters develop and change and become better.
Yeah, I don't know.
How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Dusty?
What up? Switching 3 camera. Ba-boom. Whoop. Dusty, how are you? What are you painting tonight?
I am working on Raveners.
Ravener. I think the title is Robbie paints Wraithlords. Rich paints Trench Crusade. Dusty's probably still painting that Ravener. Episode.
We launched a Kickstarter this week. I haven't actually even touched my paints for days.
Wow. Ooh, I had to put a mattress out to the curb, Dusty. That's basically as much work. I'm working on a Wraithlord.
We're going 2 weeks going to Vegas again for Raha's having a class.
Whoa.
We got on the wait list a long time ago, and they emailed us and said, "Oh, wait, we have 2 spots open. You want them?" So I'm like, "Yep." So,
who's having a class?
Kaha, Katrina Gorska.
Nice.
She's a Golden Demon winner and lots of other stuff.
Very cool.
Very famous. It's going to be painting like an anime statue. So I'm looking forward to that.
Very cool. A little bit, probably different techniques.
It's going to do Eric Swinson's at the end of July.
Okay.
At the end of July, which is right before Gen Con. So depends on how Gen Con's going to go. I might not be able to do it. So.
How was Gamma?
It was okay.
Yeah, about Gamma. Gamma, for everyone watching, is a trade show for the game industry, specifically the tabletop game industry.
I did, speaking of Trench Crusade, the guys that are doing Trench Crusade approached me to maybe help them.
Nice.
I don't know. We'll see. They only really have 1 product, so there's not much help you can give them. They have a rule book, I guess, 2 products. They have a rule book and 1 unit, the Prussians.
They look cool.
Yeah. But they're planning on doing more models. So
That'd be cool.
March is a busy month. We just got back from Gamma, and then going to go out to Vegas for a few days, and then going to Adepticon.
Oh, cool! That's going to be really exciting. We're just about to pop in, not realizing we're streaming. Here it comes. I've heard the door get pushed slightly open by the air of the other door opening. Or just as she went to open the door, she realized
12 hours of painting classes at Adepticon.
In a row? How much spacing out are you getting there, Rich?
There's time. There's time. It's like 4 hours one day, 4 hours another day.
Okay.
I'm on some wait list, but I haven't heard anything from the wait list. I want to take some of Marco Frazzoni's classes, but we're mostly doing Zaba, and all his classes are oil painting. So,
what's the rumor mill for Adepticon this year?
What do you mean?
Are there any big launches that are getting announced or anything like that?
How many months from now is Adepticon?
It's 3 weeks.
Probably too soon for it to be 11th edition.
Yeah, they have no stream listed that I can see.
Yeah, 11th edition's coming out next quarter. So
is that going to be a summer release?
That's the idea, I think.
Yeah.
So this was the last data slate of 40K. Oh, Dusty, you weren't here last week, were you?
No, what'd I miss?
I, at playing Custodes, got 4th place out of 48 people.
Nice.
GT I went to, and I got mentioned in the Goonhammer article.
Nice.
Yeah. One sentence said Robert DeRuin played Custodes with 3 Land Raiders, 20 Sisters, 27 Custodes, and Draxus. Period.
I mean, that is a notable list.
There it is. And they were accurate.
That's the kind of list that other people will copy.
Oh, it's very popular now. Not because of me, though. A guy got to it, won with it before I did. So I'm not trying to claim any credit on that.
Well, in my household, the one that made it famous was you.
All right. Wow. You heard it here, Innes Wilson. Pick up the phone. Dusty doesn't know who you are.
Innes Wilson is that one viewer we have.
Yeah. He's,
I just defended him.
I think he's the best player in the world. I don't know. That's probably a contentious title. But he for the past 4 months has been saying on his podcast, hey guys, this custode list, if you just take 3 Land Raiders, 27 Custodes, 20 Sisters, he's like, I haven't bothered to play it, but I am sure it's good. Just play that, you'll win. And then I did, and I won. So smart guy.
Can't argue with that.
His had a little bit different than mine, but I just didn't like some of the models and decided to go more custody oriented, and I was fine. I played against Satan, so the super villain, Dusty.
Yeah.
And I won. It was a fun game.
You mean Imperial Necrons?
Yeah. The knights made out of silicone-based life forms. Yeah. Right now, Rich, one of the most broken lists is just running the Nightbringer, the Deceiver, the Void Dragon, the Silent King. 1 Transcendent Catan. That's your whole list.
That seems like that list that used to win our tournaments. That was just the Catan.
That was because Brad was very good at playing it. I feel like he was really good at playing that list.
Yeah, you should get to see Brad. I'll get to see Brad again probably when I go to Adepticon.
No, he moved out your way actually.
Yeah, but he was Adepticon last year.
Oh, okay. He plays very competitively. I can't remember what he's into now.
Privateer. Still.
War Machine?
War Machine, yeah.
Really? When's the last time you heard about that?
Last year at Adepticon, he was playing in a tournament there.
Oh, wow. He told me like 3 years ago War Machine was dead.
That's what he was playing.
Well, maybe they turned it around.
I mean, since then, didn't Steamforge really start to push it? Like, wasn't that last year or the year before that?
Yeah, last year I think was really when they took over. They got it the year before, but I don't think they did anything with it.
Yeah, it took them a little while.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know nothing about it, Just
you don't see much of it in stores, really.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough game in town for a GW competitor that can be stocked on the shelves that isn't what is it called? Superhero game. Nobody ever dies in it. The Marvel Crisis Protocol. That game seems to do well as well. Did you see that Atomic Mass Games announced that they're basically on discontinued support for that Star Wars game they just came out with?
Shatterpoint. Yeah, they got rid of Shatterpoint.
I did not see that, but I'm not surprised by it.
Crazy though.
Everyone I know who played Legion quit when they wiped it and started Shatterpoint.
Well, now Legion's the one they're supporting.
Well, yeah, because everybody just still wanted to play with their Legion stuff.
Well, it's like, I hate that shit, that scale changing nonsense. Like, stop. We all know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
At Gamma, I was actually talking to Sam Healy. He's the designer of Star Wars Assault.
Imperial Assault.
Yeah. We were talking about that, like how they forced him to basically, he made it as more of a RPG style game, and then they forced him to kind of make it a skirmish game, and then
because they wanted to replace Star Wars minis, right?
Right, yeah, and then they did a whole new game that replaced that instead of using the same minis and stuff. And if Legions would have changed the same scale as Assault, I would have totally been into Legions because I had all the Stormtroopers already painted.
Yeah, but they wanted you to buy them again.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that. That's the one thing GW does pretty well, is they don't force you to buy new miniatures. You will, but they don't force you.
You'll buy them because they're good miniatures.
Well, the thing is that with GW too, I mean, with Star Wars, the new miniatures they're expecting you to buy 2 years later are the Stormtroopers that you bought 2 years before to replace the Stormtroopers that you bought 2 years before to replace the Stormtroopers that you bought 2 years before.
Well,
with GW, they sort of changed the Space Marines. So
I'm going to give a hot take of all hot takes. Y'all ready? The Star Wars universe isn't big enough to support a miniatures game.
Yeah.
Not unless they're going to start creating a bunch of new factions that they're making up out of their own.
And then it just won't even feel like Star Wars at that point. It'll be like the Jundu, Thunder Giant warriors in my Star Wars army. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just, not enough. Star Wars is constantly terrified that if they get too many parsecs away from Tatooine, the viewers are going to go, shut this off. If they're not on a desert backwater planet, I'm not watching. Something has to be about Luke Skywalker and all of his family members.
They have, okay, so right now, what do they have? They have effectively 6 factions from 3 different time periods.
Well, no. They got 4 or 5. I guess 5. Scum and Villainy, Imperial, Gar, Robots, Rebels.
But they in X-Wing they also sort of differentiated the Resistance and the First Order, and that worked okay because they were from such different, even though they were just Imperials and Rebels still, really. But they could do the Chiss Ascendancy, and they could do the Yuzon Vong. But nobody has a freaking clue who those people are. What's that, Robbie?
Does anyone care about any of those things?
No, that's my point. Is that nobody has a freaking clue who they are if you haven't read the books.
Well, they're not part of the current universe, even, are they?
The Chiss are, because they redid the Thrawn books, to support how they ruined him in Ahsoka.
Thrawn is the ultimate Gary Stew to ever have existed. I love when dumb writers have to write a brilliant. That is.
Oh my God, Robbie, that's exactly
What I mean.
that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Do you know what I mean? Like when
Yes.
the writer is dumb, but they have to write a character who's supposed to be the most brilliant mind who's ever lived.
So in Ahsoka, there is a point at which everything has gone wrong. Nothing has happened as he planned. He's clearly losing by the sheer dumb luck of the heroes. And he stands back and crosses his arms and he goes, "Yes, this is exactly as I planned." And I looked at Amy and she goes, "Did he plan to lose? That was the plan?" And I said, I think this might be a stupid person's idea of what a brilliant person would be.
Have you ever seen the Rick and Morty heist episode?
Yes.
Where at the end he's like, "And I planned you, and I programmed you to believe that."
Yeah.
And I programmed you to believe that. And they do it for like 18 hours. When you do a plot that is what I would call Joker plot, where it turns out he could predict everything.
Yep.
Then it's like, well, then why does anyone bother getting out of bed in the morning? The Joker will let you know what you're supposed to do. You'll get your email from him in the morning about where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do. Like, it's such an inane premise. To do all these things that seemingly hurt him on purpose.
Well, at least the Joker is crazy.
Yeah, but
Thrawn is not supposed to be crazy. He's just supposed to be brilliant.
yeah, here's my problem with the extended universe. Thrawn's always messing with a bunch of Skywalker children who I could not care less about. Remember the Skywalker children? Do y'all
I remember them? I have the action figures. I have the statues.
I think I brought out my.
I'm still angry. I'm still angry that Anakin Solo died in a really stupid way. Like, yes, I remember them.
You know what? How they killed Anakin Solo? It's like how they killed Randall Flagg in the Dark Tower series. Have you ever read that series?
I haven't read that. No, is it good?
They stupidly kill Randall Flagg, everyone's favorite character, in this really dorky way, just to establish the power of some new villain who they write out in 10 minutes anyway.
It's shock factor. They're trying to be shock factor. Yeah.
It's kind of like Stranger Things. The last episode of Stranger Things, which, by the way, they used AI to write, so you know it's good stuff. There's a shot where, like, in the beginning of the episode, Steve almost falls to his death, and they do like a cutaway, like he died, and it's like, shut up, show. He didn't die. Shut up. You don't kill any characters who aren't guest stars. So just shut up and cut back to him being fine somehow.
Killed Eddie.
Yeah, he was a guest star for that season.
Oh.
Just
they
like
killed him. They killed him with Metallica.
Yes. Ooh, what an epic scene.
Remember Metallica? They killed him with that.
Yeah. Do you remember it?
Pay no attention to the fact that it doesn't quite make sense. Just remember the Metallica.
Do you remember it?
I do not.
Remember it? Remember the 80s, guys?
Oh, yes. I do remember the 80s.
In Community, there's an episode where the concept of glee infects them like a virus. And in order to infect Pierce, they're like, Pierce, didn't your generational demographic invent music? And Pierce is like, I don't know if we invented music. Perfected it, maybe. Pierce, don't let them cater to your generation's known sense of vanity. It's like every Stranger Things thing is like, man, wasn't it cool in the 80s?
I heard the next thing they're gonna move on to the 90s now.
The 80s. We definitely would have dragged him behind a truck and killed him. That's what small town America was like in the 80s.
No, you just couldn't dance, Robbie.
Yeah, you just couldn't dance. Damn it. It just wouldn't let you dance.
It wouldn't let you dance.
I don't understand that movie. Like, I know that people's, freedom of expression has been restricted a lot.
Well, from what I understand, Robbie, Mormons don't allow you to dance too. Right?
Well, hold on a minute, Rick.
Yeah, I've been to plenty of dances where Mormons are dancing. Don't worry. There's a huge Mormon contingent in our high
You
school.
don't understand. Apparently, there's some algorithmic thing that if you talk about Mormons, you'll get higher ratings on YouTube.
Yeah.
We
So-
talked about this last week, Dusty. You missed that.
Oh, hang on. Well, how much higher? Because we have one viewer, and if we get 20% more viewers, I don't think that'll tick up to 2.
That could push us over the line to 1.5 viewers, which doesn't matter for anything other than actuarial purposes. But we can talk about how in Battlestar Galactica, isn't the canon ending in Battlestar Galactica, that the lost space people you've been following the whole time are the lost tribe of Israel?
Yeah, I think so.
Which is very similar to Mormonism. The lost tribe of Israel are the people who built all those mounds.
Yes, they were the mound
These
builders.
native properties somehow. Probably unrelated. All right, Dusty, is your Ravener ready to be on screen?
You know what? I don't have my camera hooked up. Hang on a second.
Cool. Good.
Nokia couldn't possibly be built by these savages. It had to be built by good Jewish people.
I just love the idea that you could spend your whole life literally robbing graves. And then when you purport to have received magical tablets that only you can read, that say that you're the god of all mankind and everyone needs to do what you say. People were like, you know what? I'm going to trust that guy. He's been robbing graves his whole life. You know, why would he lie? Why would a man like that lie? Gosh, I was born in the wrong era. I feel like you put me in the late 17th century, early 18th century. I could get a cult going gangbusters.
Going right now. Look at all the cults like that. We Work. Did you ever watch the videos on that place? That was a cult. That was a modern cult. That was like, we're just gonna get together and work. And then for some reason,
What about the one girl from what's that TV show? She was running a crazy evil cult.
Yeah,
Okay, my camera's up.
All right, I'm switching to you, Desi.
I watched that one too. That was HBO.
That was
There's
crazy.
plenty of cults in the modern era, Rob.
I know, but I feel like I'd much rather start a graham cracker business I turn into a cult than like an insanely
That was
evil,
Kellogg.
eyed shut cult.
I do like graham crackers.
Wow.
Well, that's perfect for a cult because the trick of a cult is you have to get them on lots of carbs because it makes them very susceptible.
You know what I always think is crazy? Do you all know about the sarin gas attack attempts in Japan in the I think it's late.
Yeah.
Do you know why they as a part of their like ritual, they were on so much damn LSD that they just couldn't poke the bag right. Just crazy to think. Saved a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, it's small miracles, I guess.
Right?
If they weren't on LSD, they probably wouldn't have been using sarin gas on people. So
Yeah, it's kind of a chicken or the egg kind of situation, right?
yeah. It was the
What came first, the sarin gas or the LSD?
The LSD.
Yeah, there's lots of crazy cults you can do. Yeah, what was that? I'm trying to think of the name of the one that you're talking about, Rob. It started.
Om Shinrikyo.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the one that started in New York. That was like it was like a business connection.
You're talking about the Dim Mak, The
No.
poison touch where they blew up that school.
No, Dim Mak. I mean, I got a brochure on that when I was a kid out of the magazine.
Yeah, but you know that guy in real life blew up a school with a stick of dynamite.
He didn't use the Dim Mak?
He did not use the dim mic. When push came to shove, he used guns and dynamite, actually.
Point.
It calls into question his ability to use the poison touch.
Yes, for sure. No, there was that it was what is it? It was like a networking group, like they went to networking meetings, and then all of a sudden, like if you got to be the inner circle, you got to meet the owner, and then he got to molest you as a woman, and you had to do everything he said.
That's what every cult's purpose is, isn't it?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, it's mostly just men trying to get control of women.
Wow.
Lonely.
More news at 11. The cycle of humanity repeats again. May it be cleansed in nuclear fire someday. Dusty, is this the same Ravener?
Yeah. No, let's go with no.
No or yes?
Yes, it is.
It is. Wow. Dusty, I'm glad we run this channel because you'd never get any painting done. You're so focused on your Kickstarters.
It is a lot of work.
Shame
The painting.
Shame.
Should do a Kickstarter.
Yes, if I was not painting right now, I would be answering emails. Correct.
You should just do a Kickstarter that is about painting your miniatures.
There we go.
It's the old Tom Sawyer thing. For the low price, you can get the advantage of painting my miniatures.
Feels
Whitewash.
unholy.
This is awful fun.
I see those services where people pay other people to paint their miniatures for them. It feels wrong.
If you do well on your Kickstarter, you could have that.
I don't think I want that part. I mean, it's like half the fun.
Yeah, for me, these minis would be too expensive if you didn't get the fun of painting them. Like, if you only got the game with them, if these just were gaming pieces that arrived fully painted, I don't think I'd like them at all. It's funny.
I'm starting Dark Heresy or Wrath and Glory this week, so I have to. Tomorrow, all I'm doing is painting the bad guy from that because I want to start this campaign to be all mini based, all in person.
Who's the villain you're painting?
Archon. Dark Eldar Archon.
Oh, right. We talked about this. You are the Archon. Sweet.
Yeah. For 3 weeks, I printed Eldar Exodite terrain. That's going to be the terrain we play with for the first couple weeks.
Did you see that the new Luminoth Wraithlords Combat Patrol has Dino Riders in it?
Whoa, let's see.
Dino Riders, yeah.
But they're making a point of adding Dino Riders, and they've been kind of hinting again at the Exodites.
Yeah, it'd be nice to do Exodites.
I would buy it. I would buy it instantly.
Robbie, they're doing the new Iron Lords book, but that's going to be not for the next edition. Iron Warriors.
No, it's going to be for this edition. So what a waste, right?
I hate when they announce a book right before.
Yeah, it does seem a little strange. I mean, they obviously sell them, but it just seems strange to me. It's like, yeah, this will be relevant for about 3 months.
I got those. I got for Christmas. I got the, Sons of Behemoth. And what really is strange to me, I've found the book a couple places because I just wanted to read it for fluff. But everybody's still charging full retail. And I'm like, why would I buy this? Like, it's useless. I just want to read the stories. So, if it's like 50% off or something.
Because they paid
for
it.
GW used to, I don't know if they still do it. They used to, when they did a new edition, you could trade in your old books and get a credit. No, like the stores could, Robbie.
Oh.
I don't know why the store didn't do that.
I don't know if that's allowed anymore. Nobody's ever suggested as a thing I could do.
Right, but the store, no, you couldn't turn your book in. It was the store owner who could do it. They had stuff on their shelf.
Oh, I get what you're saying. They would buy back.
Yeah, you would get a
Yeah.
craft forger. CGW's doing their paints all over again.
Yeah, they're now Warhammer.
I mean, they said it was the same paint, just a different name, right?
Yeah, but that's what they do. Every couple of years, they redo it.
I think the nature of publicly traded corporations is they create an incentive structure that incentivizes the appearance of movement rather than the activity of movement actually happening.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to throw out all this old Citadel paint and just rebuy the Warhammer version.
I just mean to say this constant rebranding, this constant new edition after
And
new
they always make a big announcement too, like, you know, stepping into the future, we are now Trem Glupa. And everybody's like, wait, what?
I don't know if companies think that consumers will infinitely be amazed by nothing burgers.
They just don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then they'll be like, why do we only get 7 engagement even though we put thousands of dollars into this platform? It's like, well, you still have this, like, whenever someone says, oh, let's use AI to create the ad, and it's like, will anyone watch it? Will it be like it just creates this idea where it's that the content doesn't matter, only that content be pushed out.
By the way, Dusty, have you seen Smoosh?
No, what's that?
Smoosh is an influencer group. They just did our Decorum game, and every distributor sold out. They had over 1 million views.
Nice.
It's not like a review platform. It's just a bunch of Gen Zers that get together and play board games and
spell it for me.
Authentic. SMOOSH.
It's cool.
I'll check it out.
Do they like you said they're not a review platform? Do they like play it live?
Yeah.
This thing, it's fun.
One of the we use a lot of content creators outside of the industry.
Yeah.
And one of them had they were doing some kind of shoot for where they needed a dragon made of flowers, and we in our new board game just happens to be floral dragons, and that shoot fell through, and so the content creator went to her friend who was making this thing and got it for our content. It looked amazing.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's great. Maybe they'll get to revisit it at some point. The idea.
I made a horrible oopsie somewhere on this thing, and I cannot find it, which makes me wonder.
Does it matter?
I know it's... Aha, I found it.
I was just saying, if you can't find it, how much could it really matter?
Oh, but I'll know.
You'll know.
Did you see anything cool new at Gamma, Rich?
Truthfully, I saw the 4 walls of my booth in the hotel room. I did not. I had so many meetings and so much stuff at the booth. I never got a chance to even walk around.
Which hotel were you at?
The Marriott.
I always used to
the hall and stuff like that. So it was a whirlwind. By the time we got set up, I was pretty much taking the booth down.
Nice.
Wasn't many retailers there though. It definitely has. I think if you go to Gamma to talk to retailers, you're at the wrong place.
I mean, I've been telling people this about. So I learned this at wedding shows. 20 years ago, at wedding shows, that was where most wedding vendors got about 90% of their bookings for the year. Was at 2 or 3 wedding shows a year, and probably about 2012 to 15, Amy and I noticed that basically nobody was booking at wedding shows because they were all showing up already having done all their research on the internet, and they were just kind of showing up. And I'm starting to think that a lot of stores are getting there as well, where they've already got the online relationship with the people that they do want to buy from, and that they're not waiting for Gamma to find out about more people they want to buy from. And so if there was somebody new that they picked up or something new they started carrying, they're already coming to Gamma having already done that online.
Yeah, I had a presentation to it was there's this group of retailers that call the Ducks, and they've gotten together and they rent like a little apartment or something, and they have like food and all this stuff, and then they allow a certain number of vendors to come talk to them. And they all agreed with it. My theory was we weren't going there to talk about product. Like we're not going to tell, because if they're decent retailers, they're going to know the product. Like it's not like product information is like hard to find anymore.
Yeah.
Talked about how we could support them, things like that, and that was, to them, they said that was the most useful. Not talking about oh, here's our new, because I remember going to Gamma and sitting there and watching the presentations, and it's like, oh my god, guys, especially like Wizards of the Coast of them. And then we have coming out third quarter, da 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 da. It's like, dude, it's all.
Yeah, but we already know. We saw the article on IGN, on ICV2.
Well, and my point with
Wizards Fireball.
You mean we already know my customers came in getting it from a leak that came out 7 months ago.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is going to happen.
More so, like with Wizards was the one like, oh man, this is great. Give me 10 times as much as I ordered. Oh, that's right. I'm only going to get as much as I ordered. I'm not even going to get what I ordered.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the maximum you are allowing our distributor to give me. Like, I'm not like, getting me psyched about a new product for Wizards was like stupid, because there's nothing I can do. I can't order more of it. I can't, I'll sell out of everything they send me. So what's where's the point in this? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I think, Dusty, something like this is going to wax and wane. And what I mean by that is, as people attend it less, the people running it will have to make it worthwhile again to get people incentivized to ever even participate in it. And then that'll cause participation to go up. And then once participation reaches a level where everyone goes, well, participation will be there no matter what we do, participation will trend lower and the pendulum will swing.
I don't know if conventions are even necessary.
Well, we don't attend any, and we do some light partnering with a few different people for just basic sales. And even when we were going full bore on conventions, they only represented about 5% of our total. 5% of the revenue in that month. So on the year, it was like less than 1% of our revenue stream, and it was not done at a profit because it cost us so much to go to the conventions.
Yeah.
So
I feel that the computer game industry has pretty much stopped doing conventions.
Yeah, I personally think one of the only people I know of that are actually doing conventions intelligently and well is you specifically. Because most of the people I know who are doing them are just absolutely losing their shirt on them. It's basically, I'm like, you guys just need to acknowledge it's an expensive hobby. Like, it's fun. You guys are going, you're having fun, and you're covering some of the cost of that fun, but it's an expensive hobby.
Well, most of the people that do conventions, they do it because they want to get out of their house and they want to see their friends.
That's exactly right. Yep.
I have an even more cynical viewpoint, Rich. I think they want to go to high school too, where the people have to be nice to them because they're paying them. Sorry for the hot take. I just
one that I never got was like the people who go out and party all night at the convention, that are there selling, like,
and they're wrecked.
And they're wrecked, and it's like, but this is your job. This isn't like, do you normally go and get? Maybe they do every night, get drunk, but
they're drunk at work.
Yeah.
Have you seen the shipping decisions people make? The logistics decisions? They are definitely drunk.
Can I say, like, I am done with 3PLs, like, period. Like, Diamond's still fine. Like, I'm not complaining about Diamond. I'm complaining that I've been working trying to get other companies' products to sell, and they're so bad at these 3PLs are so bad at what ostensibly is their only job, which is shipping product.
Who is not? I mean, no, I'm sorry. Don't call people out. But like, what's happening? Are they not shipping the packages like in a timely manner, or correctly, or what?
I don't know their name, so I couldn't even out them. But they were. So I bought out a company. I bought out an inventory for a company that wants me to do their stuff now, and their inventory was here in the U.S. and I was trying to buy it for 4 weeks. 4 effing weeks. We were trying to get just the pallet weight and the dimensions because I was gonna have Diamond pick it up. And this is a 3PL. This is just their job is to ship and move product. Yeah. And they couldn't get me the weight of the pallets or the dimensions. Like, it was in Baltimore. I was going to drive down there and actually just do it myself because it was like, come on, guys, we're not asking you. You have these already packed. Everything's ready to go. I just need the weights and the dimensions. Yeah.
They had to wait for the pallet scale to arrive.
Yeah, and then another one, which is a Canadian company that we sent stuff to during the height of the tariffs to kind of wait and see, so we wouldn't have to cross the ocean. And they lost it. They just literally lost it. And this is a giant game industry company who again ships product to retailers all the time, and they lost 3 pallets of product. They couldn't find it.
Crazy. Did they pay for it?
Storage. They found it eventually, but then they sent us a bill for storage for 3 months. I'm like, guys, I was trying to get it out of your warehouse. You couldn't find it, so you didn't know you were storing it any more than like.
Oh my God.
Like, how can you charge for storage when you couldn't find the product?
I get contacted multiple times a week by 3PLs wanting me to move all my stuff, and they're like, if you just send me all your weights and dims and your backer lists, I'll give you a quote. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't want to pay several $1,000s to move every 100 and something pallets from where they are right now to someplace else. I do not want to do that. Like, they're like, but I'm sure we can beat the price by at least 50 cents. I'm like, that's cool. So, but when I move everything over, I'm still going to come out behind it. Also, I'm happy with where I'm at. Well, I know we can do it better. Like,
that's for a sign-on bonus, a flat up front to make it worth your while.
Oh God, it's not. But they could tell me they were half the price, and I would still go, I don't know. Like,
I've moved warehouses twice. It is not easy, and it is not cheap. And the one that just approached me and wants us to move is like, well, we'll give you credit toward your storage. I'm like, yeah, but then it'll take us like 6 years to get our money back from the move because our storage, and you're charging more for storage anyway. So how's that going to help me?
My favorite are the ones that are like, yeah, we've been in business for 2 years now, and I'm like, great. So you got like another 6 months before you go out of business, and I got to move my stuff again.
Yeah, they're but I mean, just the idea of getting stuff moved is their job. Like, and they were like trying to get us to move to their place, the one place, and I'm like, this is a real good way to convince me that I would never use you.
Swap me off the camera, Robbie. I'm gonna put this down for a sec.
Hold on.
So
all right, guys.
AAA Hobbies with me, Robbie?
What's that?
You ever go to AAA Hobbies up in Stratford?
Oh, I don't even know where Stratford is. Where's that?
I think I disappeared, by the way, from the feed.
Okay, you did. You should be good now. Yeah, you're good now.
Cool.
It's near Stratford. It's not too far from where your girlfriend used to live.
No, I don't think I ever went there. Up by like.
It's not too far from Cherry Hill, but anyway, AAA Hobbies is a hobby store. They're not a game. I mean, they carry a bunch of Warhammer stuff, but they mostly carry model paints and stuff. They're actually closing down.
Wow. What You get a
They're
chance to
also
talk to him?
Yeah, I just went up today. I bought a bunch of terrain. Like they had a lot of the, terrain putties and stuff.
What was the death blow? Did they say?
Well, the distribution was the death blow. They were distributing, and there's the hobby stores. What happened in the hobby, according to the guy I was talking to him today, was a lot of companies decided they were going to sell direct to the retailers. So there's not many hobby stores left, and I guess it doesn't make much sense to me. I think you would lean into the distributor, but he said they don't, they weren't getting products that they needed to distribute. But I think also, they were there forever. And like one of the things I know is like they don't deal with game retailers. And I was saying to him today, I'm like, you just, your stock of Vallejo is way better than any game distributor. If you'd reach out to games, like I don't think they adapted well to the new environment.
They just kept on being a model train store.
Yeah, I mean they were all like all arts and crafts, all kinds of stuff, and I mean they had every Vallejo paint that's made.
You can just buy. You can just buy so much of it online. You got to give them a reason to come into the store.
Yeah, well, I'd go in there because you couldn't, like you could just buy it all at one spot.
Yeah,
they were a distributor, but they didn't adapt to they didn't try to find new places to sell. I bet you if you asked them, they probably didn't go to Hobbytown, like Hobbytown's national. They had a national show that they would do. That was like Gamma, but for all the Hobbytown USA places.
Gotcha.
I think they just didn't. They were waiting for people to come to them, and that's one of the problems you have. Like, you can't wait for people to come to you. That's one of the distributors in the game industry has the same problem, that they just wait for people to come to them, and then they don't get any hobby sales because, well, nobody ordered. Well, it's not because nobody ordered; it's because you're not there. You're not talking to them.
Yeah, you actually have to interact with the customer. It's like one of the most frustrating things I'll see, especially in like, I don't work for a publicly traded company anymore, but when I used to, there was this like implicit idea of like, if sales numbers did not hit expected metrics, the company lost money. And it's like, they didn't lose money. They failed to make that money.
They lost money that they would have made.
But they have this expectation that they should just be able to exist and increase revenue year over year, even though nothing else isn't. The system isn't increasing. The mechanism. So it's like, where do they expect to draw this infinite customer base?
Well, that's the problem of the post-consumer economy that we're in. As the post-consumer economy, no economist knows what to do. They really don't. They don't know how you deal in it. The assumption was people would always just keep buying stuff. And when you have TVs that last 10 years, you have, it can only convince people to buy a new TV if their TV breaks. That's it. So
especially if they're broke because they broke their arm last year.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
They don't buy a lot of TVs when they're bankrupt because they got a small infection last July. That's not really.
I went to the hospital with insurance, and I'm still $200 a month I'm paying after the insurance paid for it all.
What happens when everybody says, fuck yeah, what's the worst could happen if I don't pay my bills? I'm more broke. You know what I mean?
Well, the reality is, like, you can send them $10 a month, and then they have to take it. But it's if people actually had health care and were like knew we're going to be taken care of, it would definitely be a lot easier to make decisions to spend, especially if kids or something. If the kids have to go to the hospital or something, it's crazy.
That's big spend. Also, just insurance if you have children is ludicrous.
I can vouch for this. Yes, correct.
It's literally insane. So Jeff is about my age. He's a coworker of mine. And he told me what his insurance was. And the only difference between the two of us is he has 2 children. It was like 6x the cost of what my insurance is.
So we're self-employed, right? And that means that we exist in this no man land between like corporations and, you know, basically Medi-Cal, and our health insurance for my family is 2.5 times my mortgage.
That's crazy.
And it probably doesn't cover a lot. So even if you
Our out of pocket is equal to my mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the part with me. Like, I have full insurance, you know, and I went to the hospital and it cost me like almost $6,000. And I was there for 4 hours. I always determined that if I had like a terminal illness that I had to deal with, that would probably just go and stay at the Waldorf Astoria. And at least if I'm paying, you know, $2,000 a night for a room, I'm going to have a comfortable bed and a house doctor that's probably way more competent than the doctors at any hospital.
What's that 7-star hotel in Dubai?
Yeah, right.
Let me ask you a question, Rich. What happens if enough people make that very obvious solution you just did? Wait a minute. I can go to a first world country that is literally 30 miles away from me and get this care done at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
What'll happen when enough people do that it's impossible for smaller hospitals to stay in business? And what happens to your property values when the only hospital within 500 miles of you in bumfuck nowhere, Kentucky, goes out of business because it lost 7% of its business to medical tourism last year? Nobody wants to buy a house you die in if you stub your toe.
Yeah.
I mean, I might buy that. I live that. The hospital's like 20 miles from here.
I'm talking when the hospital ain't within 100 miles.
Well, yeah, okay.
I don't know how that's possible. I don't think that's the only thing America seems to be making right now is hospitals.
Sure.
Every town has become just a giant hospital with some houses around it.
Sure. And where is all this money to pay the $100,000 birth hospital? Is that money actually trading hands anywhere? Is that an actual expenditure of currency? Right. I'm trying to fix something.
Baby boomers are gone, and there's no, nobody with health insurance left.
Yeah.
By the way, this conversation on top of the music from Earthbound is hilarious.
Yeah. Capturing the vibe here. So, all right, here's a painting related thing to get us back on track here.
We didn't talk about Mormons at all during that conversation.
Yeah, we didn't even. Did you know that the aliens who attacked the Klendaku in the Starship Troopers movie, does anyone want to know who the colonists are?
Mormons.
The Mormons!
It was amazing. It was like the happiest part of the movie for me.
Yeah, well, and if you know your history, you know then that the Mormons totally started it.
Of course. They did another Mountain Meadows massacre.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I think it's implying by having it be Mormons. Yeah. Is that the bugs did not start this. This was
just like chilling out and they're like, hey, there's bugs, let's kill them. And we'll pretend it's the native people that did it.
All right, so check it out. This was where like a coffee stain occurred. And I cleaned it up a little bit. And I think it looks fine.
Nice.
What you're saying, Rob, is you created a fire and then you put it out and now you're proud of it.
That's correct.
Hey, sometimes, your ability to put the fire out is impressive.
Far ahead in the world, Rich. I've seen doing that.
All right. Now Robbie will be running for political office.
Yeah, don't you worry. Next step is actually my favorite new paint, guys. All right, Rich. This is my favorite new paint. Dusty, this is my favorite new paint. Reikland Flesh Shade. I really like it.
I literally just used it.
It's great. It produces such a fun result on so many different colors.
I do like it.
I'm going to use it on the pink here, and I think it's going to get me something really nice.
I put it on Bugman's Glow. Yep.
Bugman's Glow.
Kind of like a muddy pink.
Yeah, this is kind of like a dull pink, I guess I'd say. Really,
Oh, you guys using washes. It's so
so quaint. So old fashioned, Rich.
I'm sorry, Rich. I can't understand your fancy posh accent.
Yeah. Don't worry. Once Rich
When I
becomes golden
was
demon level, he's gonna put this stream on the map.
We're not even going to be able to understand him when he's a golden demon.
It's true. When he ascends to golden demon,
He'll tell us stuff, and it'll just go right over my head.
not that far on the spectrum to become golden demon. Because I watch a lot of these golden people, and like you have to spend 136 hours, highlighting the gold on a model.
in this blend right here.
I can't remember. Did I tell you guys the story about the guy that worked on our ranch and the prison shanks?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So Rich, we had this guy that worked on the ranch, and he was a super nice guy, but he had grown up in a bad area, and he had gotten a rough break and gotten involved in some things he shouldn't have gotten involved in when he was too young to know better. Covered in tattoos, spent a lot of time in federal prison, but nice guy. And he told me some stories about, here's another reason you never want to be in prison. And he would say that the guys that make the shanks, they have some sort of level of obsession, and they will spend hundreds of hours turning a milk carton into a shank. And you just sit there and you twist it and you twist it and you twist it. And the closest I've ever come to finding another human being that I thought might be really good at making prison shanks like that are golden demon winners.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Glazing the same
over and over and over again.
And I have his facial expression done.
Yeah, it's like I have been painting for 6 hours, and it is to paint this cape to be slightly a different color.
And then some of the videos I watched, they're like, yeah, and then I had my friends look at it, and they suggested I change this. So I spent another 80 hours changing this one tiny little part.
If my friends want to paint for 80 hours, they can make the change. I did my best. Oh, y'all want to see the Iron Warriors I finished up?
Yes, please.
All right, so I wanted 3 Forge Fiends, but I did not want to buy the kit. I don't like dinosaur robots. Sorry.
Dinobots transform.
All right. Here, I'm going to go through them real quick. You ready? Here are my vehicles.
Just the palette by itself looks cool even from overhead.
This is a Invictor war suit.
Nice.
Counts as Forge Fiend. My thought process was, it's ostensibly, I know it's a dinosaur robot, but when you look at the rules, it's a dreadnought profile with the demonic keyword, 2 kicks that are like 2 attack, strength 6, AP nothing, 2 damage. So like nothing burger melee. And then 3 plasma cannons. So I was like, wow, I can make Invictor tactical war suits there. Here's another one. So I have 3 of them.
That one's cool.
I tried to make it look like, I don't know if it comes across in the pictures. I tried to make it look like the lights in the cockpit are red.
Oh, nice.
Like a glow onto them. Really happy with how the hazard stripes turned out. Really like it. I added some cacti. This local area. And then here's the last one. Because I said I'm running 3. Here he is.
Yeah, I like those a lot. Those are really cool.
I like it better than the dinosaur robots. Then I got some cool infantry done as well. Had a busy week. I got some warp claws.
Nice.
That I Horus Heresy'd them.
Those are really cool.
So instead of what I think are the very dorky looking warp claws y'all ever seen the Chaos warp claws, I'm gonna pull them up. I'm gonna share.
Those are the ones that just came in the kill team they just released.
That's Murder Wing. Those are Raptors.
Okay.
You fool. All right, you ready? I'm gonna show you what these warp talons look like. It's really stupid. And then you're gonna be like, "Wow, Rob, you're so brilliant for spending $200 to convert this unit because you had to buy 5 melee weapon upgrade packs." I posted them on Reddit, by the way, those warp calls, and the only responses I got were guys going, "So what's that, like $200 in melee weapon upgrade sprues?" So, but they look way cooler, and that's all that really matters. Here, I'll show the picture in a second. One moment. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Chaos Space Marine. Boom. Y'all can see this?
Yep.
All right. Take a look and tell me I did the right thing. Where is he? It's like 5 little guys. Also, that the 5 little guys here they are. I think these look so dorky. What do y'all?
Look kind of like they're prancing. I think there's definitely better jump troop poses.
Like super dorky, right? That one looks cool. This guy looks cool. But I don't know. The Raptors look cool. Warp Claws do not. I don't know. Don't they look dorky? And look at their dumb feet.
Yeah. They're not my favorite. I think you did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Rich, I'm going to make you the camera now, okay?
Okay.
All right. Brass Bull's looking cool. The gun's looking cool. The armor's glittering. I love it.
Yeah, I've just been working on the skin. It's a little washed out because of how bright it is.
Yeah. That's life. Once this dries, I can apply the Wraithlords flesh. Applying the Wraithlords flesh shade always looks so cool. I really want to do a cool Eldar army. Like, I really want to do them up really cool. Always wanted to paint them really well. And Eldar is so intimidating because all of the tricks you can fall back on kind of make rough areas look good on an Imperial model are harder to do and have it look good on Eldar. You know what I mean?
They're so fancy.
Yeah, it just feels harder to get away with things. I don't know. Maybe that's my own bias. Nobody actually expects that of me.
Well, they're not very grim dark, is the problem.
Right. They're supposed to be the contrast.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is what the world used to be like, but we can't have nice things.
Yep.
But everything went sideways, and then the sideways stuff went more sideways.
Well, everything went sideways. The Eldar are weapons. They're living weapons that the old ones made to fight a pest control war in one galaxy. They're they're interstellar. They're intergalactic, even. They are. Oh, speaking of aliens, read a really great alien short story by Stephen King that came out like a year ago.
Oh, yeah?
It was a lot of fun. Basically, like, by chance, a human happens upon a crashed alien craft. And at first, he's confused by it because he thinks it's a human craft. But then he notices, like, signs that it's a deception, that it's like a hologram or an image. And when he pulls the body out, the body feels like it's made of Play-Doh, and its skin is made out of the same stuff its pants are. And then the alien looks at him and goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, easy, man. Relax, relax, relax. I'm just here hanging out. Just here on Earth hanging out. Don't worry." Because the alien is basically like a hillbilly with a shotgun's cornered him, and he's waiting for intergalactic AAA to pick him up, essentially. And the human's like, "Are you here to invade Earth?" And the alien kind of laughs and looks around and goes, "Yeah, what are we going to invade?" when he looks around at the Earth, and then he says, "Here, I'm just here for this." And he holds up a beer can, and the guy's like, "What do you mean?" And the alien's translator device says, "In the city of Suv, it was common to take a small piece of the altar. This became known as a souvenir." And so he's just taking a little beer can as a souvenir. Great little story. You should read it. It's fun. Full dark, no stars. That's what it's called. A lot of fun. Really recommend.
Okay.
Fun little. Stephen King still got it. He can still write good poppy horror. You know.
Was this supposed to be a horror, or was it just funny?
There's a horror moment to it. You know, the alien kind of is like, looks at him and is like, he's like, "Well, why do you want it?" He's like, "Well, I wanted to get it before you guys killed each other." And he's like, "Oh, you can see the future where humans are going to kill themselves." He's like, I don't need to be able to see the future, man. And he points past the human to his children, like in the park or in their living room. I can't remember, playing with like ray guns, like cops and robbers. And the alien's like, "Your children play with weapons. You have atomic weaponry. We don't need to be able to see the future to know y'all aren't going to make it very far." Great little bit. Great bit. A lot of.
One of my employees found he found a thing on I don't know where he found it, but it was like a cuneiform tablet found by archaeologists that Iran was just a few weeks away from having nuclear weapons 3,000 years ago.
They were just about to crack the code.
That's why they created writing.
At least they didn't send us pictures this time and say they were WMDs and what was it? I'm the decider. I decide. God. It's right.
Years ago.
This was right.
Away.
All right. This pink turned out really good. Since I've learned the lesson of not using known oil on every single color as the shading method, my life has changed. Took me 20 years of painting to decide not to shade everything.
More than one wash? Why? What?
Why? Why would I? Why would I? What?
Why such extravagance?
Yeah, like what is this? The Buckingham Palace? I'm going to use multiple washes, different colors.
What could you possibly have a reason to do that for?
I'm not even sure this color television fad's going to make it. So. Ugh, painting gems on Eldar. That's why you're there, right? To paint gems.
Well, gems are fun.
You know, a lot of people, they'll be like...
I've only painted a few Eldar things in my life, and painting gems was not my favorite part. But you have to paint the gems.
Yeah, you gotta paint the gems, Rich. You gotta paint them, Dusty. You gotta get them done.
Oh, I'm used to painting them on the Custodies.
Yeah, they got their little orbs. So, I don't know if y'all saw, but the Warhammer community's raging right now.
Oh, I just assumed that was the case because it's Sunday.
Well, I know that it's a day that ends in Y, which means normally the Warhammer... So a new balance data slate came out, and I knew this was going to happen. I think I even brought it up on stream, so you could probably see me saying it. But the end of Warhammer editions are always pure, unmitigated nonsense bullshit. They always are. Because by the time all the real codexes have come out, GW's lack of ability to balance a game this complex comes to the fore. So the balance data slate for the last 3 months of the game basically kind of like tacitly acknowledged that Necrons were broken and overpowered, but then said, well, we're not going to do anything about it. So the last 3 months will just be Necrons, which is funny because what it's led to is a Gaunt spam list, just one. Because if someone's going to bring all the Satan, well, I'm just going to bring 200 Gaunts. You got to paint. Just lift a little closer. You're just out of frame. There we go. Nice. So, I think that's interesting. I just think it's funny. That
I've heard there are 9 other editions of Warhammer that they're not balancing anymore.
That is true. There are 9 other editions.
What
I will.
though,
what's that?
Aren't they doing balance slates for Horus Heresy, which is probably like 1 edition, or like 5th edition, right?
It's 7.
I never actually see balance slates for Horus Heresy.
I don't think they do them.
They do them for Kill Team, I know.
Then they do them for Age of Sigmar too.
I think they don't view Horus Heresy as that type of game.
As a tournament game.
Yeah, they view that as a strictly narrative, which is probably why it's not very popular. But yeah, they have the great models, so I'm not going to complain.
They do have great models, but their box sets largely suck because it's just like 50 Marines and not much else.
Wow, if you're playing Marines in 40K, that's a nice box set to start with.
It is, that's for sure.
We'll see.
Are they Primaris size or no?
They're a little shorter. Here, I can show you. I'm going to show you. I will go grab a Primaris, and I will go grab the Horus Heresy. The Horsey Heresy. All right, this is the new kit versus an infiltrator. The new kit is up on a rock. I'll try to account for that.
Pretty good, Gunnar.
All right, you ready? So, Horus Heresy. Yeah, they're about the same height.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love the Horus Heresy Marines, and I think they make a great start for a Chaos Space Marine army.
That's what I was going to say. Why do you need Chaos Space Marines if you have Horus Heresy models?
Right, well, because they are, Chaos Space Marines, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I went Iron Warriors in my case, because, I think Iron Warriors would have the old-timey armor. They probably had tons of marks of them. The Iron Warriors were the second most plentiful chapter behind the Ultramarines, right? Because they had such a stable gene seed because they were so boring. That's the fluff.
That's the fluff. Boring gene seed. You have more warriors.
What I think is funny, too, about the Horus Heresy stuff is a lot of it was set in stone, like back in Rogue Trader era. There's like a box out that like Horus isn't a Primarch in Horus Heresy. There's no conceit of Primarchs yet, but he's like the top general of the Imperium kind of thing. And, it seems like the only reason why that lore existed of the top general betraying is because it was early in the game's life cycle, so it didn't have a lot of factions.
It was like when Dante wrote the the first draft of the.
I heard a story about why Horus Heresy exists straight from a former GW employee who was there.
My uncle works at Nintendo too.
Yeah, and he said everybody was coming into the stores, and they all had Space Marine armies. And so they had to come up with a reason for the Space Marine armies to fight each other so that everybody would continue feeling comfortable buying and bringing their mostly Space Marine armies. And thus the Horus Heresy was born, which was brilliant.
Oh, yeah. It makes sense when you have a game like this, right? Like, gotta have, like, a faction.
All they need is the Horus Heresy in Star Wars, and then everybody can play Stormtroopers.
I will. To this day, I still was when they, because So I used to sit and read the Star Wars dictionary back when like the like the Thrawn trilogy first came out, and there was one entry for the Clone Wars, and it was very vague, and I will never forget when they first started talking about Phantom Menace, and it was going to be the prelude to the Clone Wars, or I'm sorry, not Phantom Menace, but Attack of the Clones, and I just remember thinking, wait, so there's only clones on one side and the other side is battle droid, but that's not Clone Wars. That's just a regular. And so I always thought they should have had both sides, fighting with clones, and there could have been so many interesting stories there.
Like different, everybody used clones to fight. That's what I thought was what the Clone Wars was.
Yep.
Yeah, my assumption would have. I think that is the problem with Lovecraftian fiction, with speculative science fiction, with mystery boxes, is nothing that George Lucas could have written will be better than Alec Guinness saying, "I fought with your father in the Clone Wars,"
right,
and then never bringing it up ever again. Way more interesting than anything they could have written. It's just, when you describe Cthulhu loses power.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like Alien Earth, where they turn one of the aliens into like a dog, and it's just walking around in broad daylight. Like, it's not nearly as terrifying as when it's in that ship and you're only getting glimpses of it.
Exactly. Yep. In Stephen King's book on how to write, he actually brings up the fact that he says nothing is scarier than what the person imagines is behind the door.
That's what I knew about the Lovecraft Film Festival. When the first Lovecraft Film Festival came up, there wasn't camera technology to make creatures, right? The special effects. So most of the movies ended up being a shadow on the wall or, something in the distance, but you couldn't quite make out what it was.
Perfect.
Then at one point or whatever, technology got to the point where they can make monsters, and the monsters are never that horrific as the ones that they used to have that didn't actually appear in the movie.
My favorite Lovecraft reveal in a movie, and what I'm just going to describe a Lovecraft reveal as, is at the end of every Lovecraft Film Festival movie, every movie with Sam Neill in it, where he travels through space or is a book author, investigator, they always do like their mind is shattered when they see the creature, the scary creature type of thing. And yeah, if I were to write a story like that, I would do something very minimalist, because I think that would be the only way to make it actually interesting.
Well, if it's a creature that would drive you insane, then wouldn't it drive the audience insane?
Right. Yeah, a monster that's so scary you can't even conceive of it is the horror equivalent of someone saying, what was the thing we said earlier, Dusty?
A smart person or a dumb person's idea of what a smart person would be.
Smart person, yeah.
This is a kitten's idea of what a monster would be.
Yeah, well, it's like in Rick and Morty, there's a scene where like they can like summon like mythologues of themselves, and he's like, well, imagine a version of me that can bend steel, and she's like, well, how can I do that while you're here not bending steel? How can something be unimaginable if the author is going to have to sit down and imagine it at some point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why my favorite ending of a Lovecraft story, I was going to say, is the Black Mountain Side. Rich, remember that one?
Yep.
At the very end, Dusty, it's a great Lovecraftian story. And at the very end, when you see the Lovecraftian being, it is a deer far enough away from the camera that you can't really see it, but it is standing upright and looking into the sky.
Gross.
So it's very like unnerving, and it's far away, and the character is exhausted, so they can barely see it. And the monster has a great little speech. He says, when a deer looks up into the sky, it sees 1,000 points of light. When a man looks up in the sky, he sees 1,000 stars with 1,000,000 worlds in, in the billions of the cosmos. And then the deer turns and looks at him and says, "What do I see?" Great ending.
Ugh, that's creepy.
Great ending, and that's it. They don't, and there's a great shot afterwards. I won't spoil it, but Rich, I don't know if you remember the final shot of that movie. You got a out of the audience in the end. It was great.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. That was a good movie.
Oh, I've seen it like 10 times. I love
Really?
that.
Is it on a streaming platform?
No, you have to find it. For a little while, it was on a Canadian streaming platform because I believe all of them are Canadian.
Yeah.
I believe. So,
This year was cool at the film festival because it was the 30th.
yeah.
So they actually played a block that was a collection of all like some of the best
Oh, yeah.
shorts, which was really good. There was that one Finnish short that was really good. I don't think you were there that year. The nice thing about Finland is like the Finnish government, gives money to filmmakers, and because he was working with the Finnish government, they got to use an actual icebreaker ship and stuff that the government.
That's cool because it's like
Most of the story took place on the icebreaker. Yeah, it was very cool.
I heard that one was over before it got started.
What's that?
Because it was Finnish.
Hey.
Hey.
Did we say?
don't forget to tip your waiters and bartenders. Folks, is here all night performing in the Vegas Lounge of Atlantic City.
The Vegas Lounge of Atlantic City.
It's a lower tier, trust me. I don't know if you've ever been to Atlantic City, but it's a lower tier.
So we're close enough to Reno that we end up there occasionally, and I will never forget Arrested Development make the biggest little mistake of your life in Reno.
Well, I'd rather be dead in California than alive in Arizona. That line from that show. Got him looking at the bag and it's saying "Dead dove, do not eat." And he opens it, looks at the bag, then puts the bag away and says, "I don't know what I expected to find in there." And you see the previous scene, Joe buys the dove, puts it in his coat pocket, walks into the pool door, returns to the counter and says, "What's your return policy on?"
That was an excellent show.
First 3 seasons, great.
And
After
Netflix-
that, nah.
yeah.
Which
Netflix-
season was the one that they did like later on streaming or something?
Like season 4.
Okay, yeah, I never watched that one.
My favorite part of that is the end of season 3 is an FBI agent leans over it's 2 CIA agents. And he goes, "Hey, I just got a report. Is George Bluth your mole?" And they're like, "Yeah, he's been feeding us intel for years." He's like, "Oh, we've been prosecuting him for 10 years. Stop doing that, please." He goes, "All right." And that's the whole arc.
Oops.
Michael, I may have committed light treason. It's my first time. Oh, what a great show. Excellent.
Yeah, he's in a new show on HBO
Called DTF, I saw.
Yeah.
Who's that?
creepy guy in it from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The one who apparently did something terrible to Millie Bobby Brown, but then Millie Bobby Brown was paid hush money by Netflix, so we'll never know the awful thing he did. We just know he did something so awful. Netflix paid for Millie to shut up about it.
Really?
This you can look at that
Still acting.
because Hollywood is run by a cabal of pedophiles.
I think that's just the world, Robbie. You're talking.
Wow, all right, fine. You know what, Rich? You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
If there's one outtake of the Epstein files is that pretty much the world is run by a bunch of pedophiles.
That sure does seem to be the case.
If anybody's trying to get anything else out of the Epstein files, they're wasting their time. And I don't know why that's not enough to not want to just get out the guillotines.
Well, you know what, Rich? In Minecraft, it is fun to play with guillotines. And I will say, this concludes the Stupid Turtle Painting Minecraft stream where we talk about things that could be done in Minecraft.
Oh, yes. And we can find gold.
No. We could talk about more on the next week's episode where we'll talk about the things we do in the video game Minecraft. Rich, do you want to show what you painted? Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, that's very cool.
What frustrates me, Rich, is in that moment, it was in perfect focus and perfect lighting. It looked excellent. So we know it's possible. It looks great right now. Oh, there we go. That setting, it looks really good. Like, I'm looking at it right now. All right, Dusty, you got yours? Boom. Looks very cool. Wow. So you went with the Hyper Raveners?
It's the kill team.
Yeah.
So I have one of each.
Cool. And this is what I got done so far. I'm going to be pumping up the pink. Probably doing some edge highlighting on the blue so that I can define the segments of armor and probably do some pin shading or something. All right, gang. Are y'all going to be here next week?
Yep.
I will be here next week, but then I'll be in Vegas the following week.
Okay. Well, we'll see everybody next week.
Sounds
See y'all.
good. See you next week. Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.